Welcome to the Worldwide Developers Conference. This is our 24th WWDC. It's truly worldwide. We have over 6 million registered developers, 1.5 million of those added in the last year alone. We sold out in just over a minute. Few updates. We now have 407 stores around the world, and over 1 million people per day did that last year. The App Store celebrates its 5th birthday next month. Now downloaded 50 billion apps. We now have 900,000 apps in the store. 90% of those are downloaded each month. 375,000 apps designed for iPad. We have 575 million accounts. We have now paid developers $10 billion. That's 3 times more than all other platforms combined. Introduce you to Anki.
Anki Drive. The cars can control their speed and they steer around the track by doing the same computations your brain does when you drive. We are using iOS devices not just as remote controls, but as the brains behind an immersive, real-world experience. We are bringing video games to life on the floor of your living room. Coming to Apple stores and Apple Online this fall. Push the Anki Drive app today.
Next, I'd like to talk about the Mac. 72 million. It's the new iMac at the end of last year, #1 desktop in the US. And the MacBook, #1 notebook in the US. The last 5 years, average annual growth rate isn't even close. The Mac is up 100% versus the PC a paltry 18%. Mountain Lion, 28 million copies since we announced it, making it the best-selling release of all time. Now that compares to Windows 8, which is kind of struggling to get to 5.
Let's talk about OS X. We do not want to be the first software in history to be delayed due to a dwindling supply of cats. OS X, Sea Lion? So for our first California-themed release, OS X Mavericks, starting with Finder tabs, tagging, multiple displays. We've introduced a whole host of technologies, timer coalescing, reduce CPU utilization up to 72%, compress memory, 1.4x kinds of improvements, and up to 1.5x improvement for waking a system from standby. Next, let's talk about Safari. These are the kinds of innovations that Safari has brought. Great, clean new homepage with a great sidebar, reading list, where now you can continuously scroll through your articles, shared links, where you see all of the links shared by people you're following on Twitter and LinkedIn. Big improvements to JavaScript, a full process per tab architecture, and memory efficiency improvements with shared memory resource cache, and a whole bunch of big power savings as well. Like SunSpider, JS Bench, the results in memory usage. Energy use, it's not even close. Safari uses way less energy than Chrome, and when you compare to Firefox, it's just kind of sad. iCloud Keychain. We can remember your website logins, your credit card numbers, even your Wi-Fi networks, and they're always encrypted, synced across all of your systems. Next, some improvements to notifications. You can reply right inside the notification. So if you have an app today that sends push notifications to iOS devices, well now you can sign up to receive those push notifications on your Mac as well. It'll now update apps for you right in the background. Next up, calendar. In addition to that, you have your Facebook events right on your calendar if you wish, and we have a great new inspector that's even aware of things like location, travel time, and weather. Next, maps, your street maps, your 3D, beautiful flyover data, search for points of interest, great info cards, turn-by-turn directions, and send it right to my iPhone, where it'll appear right on my lock screen, providing a developer SDK so you can add mapping functionality to your apps as well. We're bringing iBooks to the Mac. 1.8 million books in the iBook store. We have a preview available for you today. Final release this fall.
I'd like to talk to you about the MacBook Air. All-day battery life. New 4th generation Intel Core processor, Haswell ULT, for incredible power savings. It has more energy efficient CPUs, There's twice the graphics execution units. So we can run them actually at a slower clock speed to save energy and still deliver up to 40% faster graphics performance. The 11-inch is now going to go from 5 hours of battery life up to an incredible 9 hours of battery life. If you like that, the 13 goes from 7 to 12 hours of battery life. Flash is faster, up to 45% faster than the previous version. 802.11ac Wi-Fi networking. Some new airport base stations. And these are great base stations. The 11-inch starts at $999 with 128 gigabytes. That's twice the storage at the same price as before. And the 13-inch with 128 gigs starts at $1099. That's $100 less expensive than before. And these new MacBook Airs start shipping today. I'm going to do something different. We don't usually do this, but you're a really important audience. So we'd like to give you a sneak peek of something we're working on. Would you like that? The future of a pro desktop. Truly revolutionary, truly radical. Can't innovate anymore, my ass. This is thank you. A new generation Intel Xeon chip, double the CPU performance of the previous generation. Fastest memory we've ever put in a product, double the performance of the previous generation. New PCIe-based flash. That's 2.5 times faster than any flash we've ever built. It's 10 times faster than any hard drive we've put in a Mac Pro before. Brand new announced Thunderbolt 2. Double the performance of the industry standard and industry-leading Thunderbolt 1. This is the first Mac ever that comes standard with dual workstation GPUs. 2.5 times the graphics performance of the last generation. And this supports 4K displays. The Final Cut Pro team is hard at work on a version of Final Cut Pro 10 that will support all the performance and graphics capabilities of this machine. You can be this guy. And here it is alongside the previous generation. You can spin it around, get access to the I/O. There is audio, 4 USB 3, 6 FireWire 2, being driven by 3 FireWire 2 controllers, gigabit Ethernet, HDMI out, and it has a motion sensor, so when you turn it, it even lights up to show you where the I/O is. It is coming later this year. It is designed by brilliant engineers in California and assembled here in the USA.
Next, I'd like to talk about iCloud. Fastest growing cloud service ever, integrating iCloud into the next version of iWork.
Introducing iWork for iCloud. Lets you create beautiful documents right in a browser, on a Mac, or on a PC. And there you go. I'm editing a Keynote document on Windows 8. We support Safari. We also support IE and Chrome. We're going to make this available starting today as a developer beta. Just go to iCloud, and we'll expand that beta to include all users of iCloud later in the year.
Next, we'd like to turn our attention to iOS. We have now sold over 600 million iOS devices. iPhone users use the iPhone 50% more than Android users use their phone. iOS is 2.5 times Android. iPad is over 4 times more. Both iPhone and iPad customers were responsible for materially more mobile shopping traffic than all other Android devices combined on the most critical day of shopping last year. iPhone was named #1 in customer satisfaction by J.D. Power, not just once, but 9 consecutive times, the first time this has ever been done. that iOS blows out everyone else. 20 points better than our closest competitor and almost 25 points better than Android. Over 90% of iOS users are using the latest version of iOS. Now, that's in stark contrast to the world of Android. Now, this isn't just bad for users, but this version fragmentation is terrible for developers, as many of you know. And today, it's a great thrill that I announce iOS 7. You are going to absolutely love iOS 7. Thank you. This major effort, iOS 7, the biggest change to iOS since the iPhone.
The device actually responds to the motion in my hand. Just slide out the lock screen. You see how it slides in? Let's go into weather. The degrees, get more information like humidity, and let's swipe through some locations. If you pinch, even with the time, so it's a world clock as well. So clean. Swipe from days to day like this. Turn it into landscape. See your whole week at a glance. Notice as we scroll, we have this great sort of playful motion. If I want to just go back, I can just swipe from the edge of the display, pull back like that, move in and out. My games folder. I can now have multiple pages. Take a look at Game Center. Let's take a look at Mail. The type is just so clean. When you drill into a message, look at how you get these full screen, edge-to-edge photos. It's really great. And that gesture for moving in and out works here too, of course. It's just move between messages, slide across on any item. You can get at the trash, and more options as well. At Notification Center, same as always, we can just swipe down from the top of the device. Comes down with a nice thud. You can see all notifications, just my missed ones. And we have this great new Today view. So you can see your friends' birthdays, current look at the weather, your upcoming invitations, your calendar, your stocks, and even a quick look at tomorrow. Notification Center is now available from the lock screen as well, with Control Center. Swipe up from the bottom of the device, and there they are, available from anywhere. Let's talk about multitasking. It's that we're going to have multitasking for all apps with great battery life. Now, in addition to this intelligent scheduling, iOS 7 does opportunistic updates. The average user wakes their device dozens of times a day, and those provide great opportunities when the system's already powered up to update apps in the background. It also adapts intelligently to network conditions. So if you have good coverage, it's a great time to fetch. And it coalesces updates across multiple applications. So once you have those radios powered up, lets multiple applications take advantage of it for their background updates. And finally, iOS 7 responds to push notifications as a trigger to give that application time in the background. So when you follow that notification, the app will already be up to date. You can double click and move into Notification Center and just swipe between your running applications, tap, and move right in. Let's talk about Safari. Has a great new full screen. From that search field, you can get it one-tap access to all of your favorites, as well as do search and access URLs. And it has a great new interface for your tabs. In addition to all of this, it has parental controls and integration with the same iCloud keychain you saw earlier with Mavericks. AirDrop. When you're in any app that supports a share sheet, you bring up the share sheet, and your friends that are all around you just show up right there. And if you want to share with multiple people, you just tap, tap, tap. No need to wander around the room bumping your phone with others. Now, this is system-wide for any app that supports the share sheet. And of course, it uses peer-to-peer Wi-Fi for maximum speed, and all your transmissions are securely encrypted. Let's talk about the camera. So now, your camera in iOS 7 is 4 cameras in one. You can just swipe from your video camera to your photo camera, to your square cropped camera, to your pano camera. And when you're taking stills, you now have access to live photo filters, from some gorgeous black and whites to some classic color filters as well. New Photos app. We organize them into moments. We draw these moments intelligently together into collections. You can even go all the way out to the year level. You can just tap and scrub and find the photo you're looking for.
So let's talk about Siri. It's a gorgeous new interface. Now, as I speak, you'll see a sound wave across the bottom, and you get the results in a beautiful, gorgeous, clean way. And we've got an all-new voice. It knows how to control more of your device because we've integrated some new services. iOS in the car. All of these car manufacturers are introducing iOS integration in 2014. Next, the App Store. Look for apps based on your age range. Apps near me. The App Store updates your apps automatically. Let's talk about music. Beautiful artist images right in your library. We're introducing an amazing way to discover new music, iTunes Radio. Built right into the music app. iTunes Radio is built into iOS 7. It works on your iPhone, your iPod Touch, and your iPad. It's also built into iTunes on your Mac and PC, and even in your living room, built into Apple TV. iTunes Radio is free with ads, and if you're an iTunes Match subscriber, it's completely ad-free. Starting in the US, and we'll be adding other countries over time.
So 10 amazing features in iOS 7. Things like FaceTime audio, where you now can do audio-only, high-quality audio calls over Wi-Fi on any iOS device. Notification sync, so if you dismiss a notification on one device, you don't have to deal with it over and over again on your other devices. Great feature for our users in China with integration of the popular microblogging website Tencent Weibo, phone, FaceTime, and message blocking. For our enterprise customers, per-app VPN. And now, with activation lock, if a thief tries to turn off Find My iPhone, or if they even wipe the device entirely, they will not be able to reactivate it because they don't know your iCloud username and password. The SDK includes over 1,500 new APIs. You can add AirDrop, integrate with third-party game controllers, new APIs for taking advantage of multitasking, iBeacons for Bluetooth LE micro-location, Sprite Kit for super fast, power-efficient game animations, and UI dynamics to bring physics to your UI view animations. So iOS 7 is available to you developers in beta on the iPhone today. For iPad in the coming weeks, and for everyone else, a final release coming this fall. iOS 7 will be available for iPhone 4 and later, iPad 2 and later, the iPad mini, and the 5th generation iPod Touch.
Have a great conference. Enjoy the week. Thank you.